blast off and the clock has started.
Penis!
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
It's Brutal Brunch time. So
how long were you training for that?
I just started my beatboxing career and now I just ended it.
That's good. one for one. Successful. Yep.
Hey guys,
One hit wonder.
One hit wonder. Well, hey guys, welcome to the 16th episode of Brutal Brunch, the season 2. Holy shit, we're doing a lot of episodes.
Lots of episodes.
All the episodes.
A whole good
We
chunk
haven't
of
done all the episodes. Hopefully, is this the series finale?
Season finale. You find out we're all actually dead.
And this is it's just a really complicated episode of the Sixth Sense,
And
where
really-
this entire podcast has been in people's minds.
Yeah, and then the next thing you know, like Elon Musk has been the one narrating it the whole time
Oh
because
my
he has
God,
time
if
for
it actually
that.
was, I would bring myself back to life just to kill myself.
Fuck this shit, I'm out,
There's
bro.
nothing I would hate more than to have to go in business with elongated muskrat.
Oh shit. Well, so we got a kind of cool topic today. We're talking about comics for art.
Was the transition talking about the fake wannabe Iron Man to actual Iron Man?
I guess so. Yeah.
I think that kind of works.
Maybe subconsciously.
Let's write that down for our next transition.
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
Is that the sound your pen? You have a very onomatopoeia pen.
It's a smart pen. It can talk.
Oh, that's really smart. How many languages can it talk in?
2.
What's the other one?
Read and draw.
We what?
It can draw too. You can draw and do things. It always draws phallic pictures on my grocery list.
Yeah, but what's the second language? You said it talks in 2 languages.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying.
You should get a smarter pen to compensate.
Yeah, I know. I know. My IQ is really about room temperature, but I think I'm doing all right.
Okay, speaking of which, what is your ideal room temperature? Like,
Oh, I actually like this question a lot.
yeah.
During the day, 70, and then at night, 66.
Nathan, what's your ideal?
Oh, let's see. So, in the day.
Fahrenheit.
Oh, yeah, Fahrenheit. So, like,
He does like centigrade.
oh my God.
Kelvin.
Yeah. So, like 20 C. No, I mean, like, probably like 70-ish. Like 71 probably for the day. And then at night, I just crack my window in the winter. So, it's like
Pretty chilly.
pretty chilly. Like, probably 50 degrees in there. Let's be real.
I'd rather be cold at night than hot. Oh my God, I hate it when it's
I
hot at
literally
night.
can't sleep when I'm warm. I'm a
Yeah.
human furnace.
Oh, and you guys know like when it's like really bad, and you're sweating and shit,
And you're
like,
just pissed off and mad laying there in bed.
yeah, and then like next thing you know, your arm like flops on your side and it gets stuck, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I left Florida.
Yeah. So, great transition. Sticky stuff does not go well with comics, so don't keep your comics where you sweat. We're talking about
I
comics
think
today.
A lot of people where sticky stuff and comics go together well.
Well, I mean, like
I'm
if
not
you're
going to say anything more than that, but I feel like that's a thing.
was that
I like
kind
how
of
out of
reference?
sync the hand motion was to the sound. It
Right.
was like a really bad like Japanese kung fu movie from the 60s.
Well, listen, I go so fast you can't even tell how my hand's going.
Oh, it's like when the fan blade catches like the same frame rate as the video.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just like not even oscillating. It's just like stationary. Oh God, I hate that I've had that.
I've done it so much. Every godlike status at it.
Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, let's talk about comic books.
All right. Well, so you didn't grow up with comics, really.
No.
No.
And I know it might surprise many of our listeners that I didn't grow up with comics, but
Barely grew up with TV.
right. So like no comics.
What about you, man?
Let's see. Watching a lot of the videos and stuff, like Justice League growing up.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into like, I don't know. I started kind of like diving into like little snippets of like articles talking about what happened in the comics in the past. I never actually like went like head deep into like just buying a bunch of comics and reading them, you know?
Yeah, like I will go with like the YouTube rabbit hole of other people like discussing things for like 5 minutes and try to get what I need out of it instead of like going out and buying it or reading it. Like I bought
So
this
the spark notes of comics.
exactly, exactly, and they skip all the bullshit. You know, I tried to get an audio comic book once.
Is that a thing?
It was so funny to listen to. Pal, pop.
I mean, doesn't that like kind of defeat the purpose of a lot of reading comics? Is just, if you just listen to it.
Exactly. It was terrible. I should have never done it. It's the worst dollar I ever spent.
Which comic was it?
It was some Star Wars Palpatine comic or something.
This also sounds really niche. I wonder why it wasn't too enjoyable.
It reminds me of this one comic of Jar Jar during the Clone Wars. Actually wields and picks up a lightsaber for like a split second.
Is he not allowed to? Why is that bad?
Well, no, there's a ton of theories that he's really like a dark Sith. Like
The
he's
Sith
like
Lord. I've
he's a
seen
Sith
that
Lord.
text post. Is he not supposed to have a lightsaber at all?
Well, the idea behind this theory is that Jar Jar is constantly pretending to not be to be Sith, he's constantly pretending to not be Sith because he's like covert, like working with the Jedi.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a perfect setup.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the end goal of him? Because didn't they like already defeat who's the bad guys? The Empire? I don't know.
Let's see, so that was
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
Is he working for him or is he just like?
No, remember Jar Jar came before Palpatine took the throne.
Well, yeah.
I just asked who the bad guy was. I was fed wrong information.
Well, the whole theory behind it is that like really that Jar Jar Binks was really Palpatine's master the whole time and was manipulating everything from behind the scenes and working working
okay.
both sides.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Palpatine did to begin with. So like, why not learn it from him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what
Learn
he
it
did.
from the best.
He fucked the Senate over and became a dictator. And I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and then the theory goes that basically that George Lucas abandoned the idea just because Jar Jar was so hated among the community.
Yeah.
But the community still like uncovered the idea at the end of the day
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's like it's like one of the most talked about Star Wars myths
that
out there.
it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and I think it really was supposed to happen. I really think Jar Jar was.
Has George Lucas weighed in on it?
I think I've heard something talk about it. He like kind of like laughed about it, like, ha, and it like was kind of sarcastic. It was like, oh, that was really the plan the whole time. Damn, dude.
Or he didn't think of it and they're like, holy shit, these nerds are better and I'm writing a story. Which is probably the case at the end of the day.
Honestly, yeah.
He's never been one to back down from like more money. So if he wanted that to happen, he would just make another movie.
Yeah, if you ever want a good safe word, it would be, I watched Star Wars for the dialogue. Nobody would ever say
Safe
it.
phrase.
Nobody would ever say it in passing.
Especially during sex, if that's your safe word. I watch Star Wars for dialogue. You what the fuck? Yeah. Okay. It's a good safe word because even if they want to like ignore your safe word or even like what the fuck did you just say?
This is being filmed for both of our safety.
Oh my gosh.
For all parties involved.
Yep.
Well, no, so like I never really grew up with the comics, but I did the same thing, like the Cartoon Network and stuff. Like
Were there
anything.
comics in Cartoon Network?
Yeah, there's there was some kind of stuff like Justice League was, I think that was on there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watched the old Hulk episodes, the old Thor and Iron Man ones from the 90s. I was obsessed with Spider-Man, the old TV show from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Obsessed.
So Spider-Man is the most intriguing to me because they are the ones that, like, the Spider-Man comics go as far with the multi-dimensional like theory as they possibly can.
I have seen that one movie of all the comic movies I've seen is the Spider-Verse one.
That one is actually pretty dope.
It is.
Yeah.
It is pretty good. Like I didn't even have to be like a big comic book fan to like, oh, this is actually a cool movie.
Mm-hmm. They don't even go as far as the comics do. Like in the comics, there's actually a Spiders Man that is
Spiders
Made of spiders.
He is made of spiders.
He's Spider-Man. But like, what happened was he fell into a bunch of spiders and then like took consciousness in like a colony of spiders and then just forms into a body of spiders. So he's literally Spider-Man.
Wait, so it, like, do they work together? Is he just like a pile of?
It's a symbiotic hive mind of spiders, and,
is he a good guy?
his
Yeah.
consciousness is the hive mind, and yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's just Spider-Man in another dimension, like another universe.
I don't like that one.
That one freaks me the fuck out. 'Cause
I like the pig.
That would
That's
make the
voiced by
Mary
John Mulaney.
that would make the Mary Jane kiss very awkward. It's like
Just pull the mask up and it's 7,000 spiders.
Oh my gosh!
Everyone gets bees, but instead of bees, it's spiders.
I'm pretty sure I just peeked when I screamed on that one.
Oh man!
I mean, we were talking about a man made entirely of spiders. That's some nightmare shit. Like, what's wrong with the guy who wrote that story? He's like, yeah, let's write a Spider-Man that's made of.
It's obviously the exact same story as Batman, just with instead of bats with spiders.
Is there a man made of bats?
If DC
guarantee.
came out with a multiverse and like literally came out with a Batsman, That would be pretty cool. I feel
Yeah,
like
but then doesn't that defeat the purpose of Batman? Because I thought he became Batman because that's the one thing he feared.
No, he became fear itself. That was
Yeah.
the whole point.
Right, because he feared bats. Because that was like his biggest fear because of something with a cave, right?
Yeah, so he became what he feared the most. He became AKA fear.
Right, so then why would... It's not like he didn't actually turn into a bat. Like Spider-Man still had some kind of like mutation that turned him into Spider-Man.
Right, he's just a rich prick.
Batman.
Batman's just a rich prick.
Of course
Yeah.
he is.
Which I had like an argument with one of my friends in college about like, Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark for like Iron Man. And
Of course, because everyone has to have that argument.
Duh.
Why can't you just hate both of them?
Yeah. Nah.
I just dislike both of them.
Nah.
I want to go back to the John Mulaney pig.
Me. Oh my God, that's my favorite part.
That's
John
my
Mulaney.
favorite Spider-Man is the John Mulaney pig.
Okay. No, but I was like having an argument. It was like, you're gonna tell me that a guy, a billionaire, is gonna run through the city in like a cape or whatever that he can't even really fly.
Tidy whities.
Yeah, literally in tidy whities and a utility belt. That's he probably like modified from Home Depot, and then is running around.
Gotham Depot.
Yeah, I'm just to be honest, it makes a lot more sense today's day and age that some guy makes a suit that can fly. In my opinion.
I mean, we
It's
already
more
have
believable.
people that have too much money that are already doing that. Like, I just want to be a rich guy and make stupid tech, and then the tech gets stolen by like terrorists, and then it's used against people.
They have boarding. They have like little, kind of like outfits, tactical outfits that have jets on it. That
I've seen those videos.
That they go boat to boat and stuff like that for raids.
Such a waste of money.
Oh,
It looks cool as fuck, but it's such a waste of money.
it's not a waste of money.
If you look
These are
at-
the things we need.
If you look at this window, how many like unhoused people do you see sleeping in the 0 degree?
Well, not if you gave them one of those things.
What'd they do? Just like go to the top of a building?
They can go wherever they want. That's the best part.
It's still cold. Where are they going to get the fuel? What kind of fuel do you think it uses?
this is a real
Crickets.
question. Crickets.
Crickets are an amazing source of protein.
A lot of stuff in the future that we're going to be eating will be insect based.
I mean,
Have
it
you
doesn't
ever
surprise me
watched?
that much.
There's a movie based on this idea. Like,
Soylent Green?
no, it's the. You might have been there to watch it. It's the one where the train that goes around the world like every year.
Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
I watched that movie. With all the crickets and stuff for the paste.
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
bugs.
what?
Yeah. So like the poor people get like, spoiler alert. If you haven't watched Snowpiercer yet, it's fucking 8 years old. Get over it. Spoil. The poor people are fed protein bars.
Right.
And you don't know that's all they're fed, and you don't know until the very end of the movie that they've been eating is literally just ground up bugs.
I mean, I've had some protein bars after I eat it. I'm like, oh, that probably wasn't actually like protein powder that was made into a bar.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if you actually here's the funny thing, like a lot of this stuff like are labeled as supplements, and a lot of the rules for the FDA do not apply to supplementation
Right.
whatsoever.
That's why everything has like the little cross thing that's like not approved or not like confirmed by the FDA.
Exactly. So, and with that kind of stuff, there's a certain amount of unknown factors that can be in those products. So that there's a lot of times there's bugs and
Heavy metals. There's like lead in your protein powder.
human flesh. Like I mean, like you can find if you test your shit crazy unless it's authorized by the right people.
Even then, the FDA is still like you can have a certain amount of bugs in your chocolate.
Yep.
Still adds extra protein.
Don't take supplements unless you really, really want them.
Unless you really, really, really want to eat human flesh
Yeah.
in
Yep.
supplemental form.
Yeah, but I mean, gains are gains.
Hashtag gains season. Gains miss.
Well, it's almost fucking summertime to be honest. Like
Almost summertime. It is February and -7 degrees in the mornings.
it'll
It's
be
not
68 this weekend. I'm going to the pool.
Seriously?
Is
Yeah.
your pool open?
It's open all year round. It's
not
heated.
gonna be-
It's heated.
I thought it was still going to be just like 50s and warm this weekend. Is that actually going to be a normal temperature?
Well, compared to what we have right now, it's the fucking tropics.
Yeah, but compared to like this past weekend, it was still like 60 and sunny.
I don't know. I was last year. I was in the pool in February. It was like 70 degrees, and I'm gonna do it again this year.
I'm looking back at like Snapchat memories, and like almost a year ago, I was seeing ones like when I was hanging out at the park when it was warm and I was in like a cutoff, and then that was like the first week of March, and I'm like, is that really gonna happen in a week?
No, what's gonna happen is Denver weather just gonna fucking flip flop back and
It's
forth
going to
because
be
it can't
6
choose.
degrees next weekend, and then another 10, and then it's not going to get warm until June, where it's nice for like 2 days, and then it's going to be 110 degrees every day.
We'll have that one random day at the end of April or beginning of May that's just gonna fucking go nuts.
Right, where it's
Just
going to get a
gonna
bunch of
snow.
snow for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
Snow bud,
Yep.
as they call it.
But anyway, back to comics. We really watch the table.
I'm not pushing on it.
Okay, I'm so scared.
It's more like I'm not like pushing against it. I just
Okay,
like have
okay,
my
cool.
foot resting on it.
Sorry, we had a little incident where the table for the studio may or may not have fallen apart, and I put it back together with really shitty super glue, and I'm very scared
It's
it's
super
just gonna
glued together.
with love.
Loving
Okay.
super glue.
Not
Did you
even
say-
duct tape, just straight up super
Can
glue.
we get
Got
sponsored
it.
by Gorilla Glue or something? Gorilla Glue, if you're listening, sponsor us so we have a functioning table.
I will sing to you for 10 hours straight if you sponsor us.
Or actually, until you sponsor us, he will sing to you for 10 hours straight.
He'll probably sing to us.
The decision's
until we
yours.
get
Yeah, but why should they care if he's singing to us? Or unless we're gonna like Gandhi this shit.
Just
I'm gonna drink lemon water until you sponsor us.
you can let me die. Okay, back to comics. Shit.
Back again. Guess who's back?
Yeah.
Again.
So the reason I was saying the whole Batman vs. Superman thing is because that new Batman movie is coming out.
It is coming out.
It
How do
is.
you guys feel about? Okay, so I just thought about this. This is ironic that I thought about this today, but there's the past two Batmans, well, the past two real Batmans that have their own origin story, really, because the last one didn't. You know, Ben Affleck. The last two that had their own standalone movies have been British instead of American actors.
Huh.
Christian Bale and then Robert Patterson.
Is Robert Patterson British?
Oh yeah, then
Oh,
Daredevil-
really British?
I didn't know that. I thought he was something else.
It's like
Oh,
whole
yeah.
cup of tea, a whole kind of thing.
Posh? Is he,
Yep.
is he posh?
And then the
Proper.
and then Daredevil was played by Charlie Cox, who's also British.
Heh. I because it's premiering what, the 4th of March? I think the new Batman.
Was it May or March? March. In March?
I think it's March. It's like coming out. I think it's coming up soon. And I was looking up if there are any like midnight showings of it because I'm picking my girlfriend up from the airport that night. And I went to Google midnight showing Batman Denver to try to find it. And I forgot about the last time there was a midnight showing of Batman movie in Denver. And the entire like first 3 pages were just news articles about that. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, I forgot about
Hashtag poor form.
yeah. So I never did find out if there's a midnight showing of the new Batman movie.
I'm gonna say not in Colorado.
Yeah, maybe not. It might kind of trigger a whole lot of PTSD.
Yeah, a lot of people would probably protest that one.
I don't know if they would protest it, just no one would. Like,
No one would go.
Right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make a stink about it. They won't put stickers on your gas pump, but they would like.
Yeah, it'd be like
okay,
a silent
I'm not gonna
protest
go.
or silent. Like,
Oh yeah.
nah, I'm not going to that. No, but like, so the person who played, I forget who played the Riddler in this new movie, but evidently said he got all fucked up because of it. And I'm like, how dark is this Riddler?
Or that's just the kind of thing people say, just so that way it gets people to watch the movie. Like back every time there's like a new horror movie that comes out, so it was like we had to have a priest bless the set because
Yeah.
people kept dying under mysterious circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that I think after the whole Heath Ledger thing happened with the first one, they got so much press. Like you
Yeah.
said,
So now you're just gonna say it anyway.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's like they're in the back
But then
sipping
they're
Mai
gonna-
Tais.
They're not gonna actually like die over it or like kill themselves because like then they can't reap the benefits. But
I mean, like
just
the
say
Heath,
it.
the Heath Ledger one was legit because he's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
And the who even is playing? Maybe that's why he said it. I'm gonna look up who's playing the new Riddler.
I will say that like Jack Nicholson warned Heath Ledger before that role.
he did, didn't
Yeah.
Why did Jack Nicholson? I think he was that
because
crazy
he
of a
was
Joker.
he was the previous Joker.
Yeah, for the.
But I thought he was just like Jack Nicholson, but in makeup, because he's kind of a crazy guy to begin with.
Well, he actually said that. So he's done like everything, man. Like
I mean, he's in The Shining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said that part messed him up worse than anything else.
Seriously?
Yeah,
New Riddler. Who's the new Riddler?
I mean that's crazy to think they're like a part that has broken tons of grade A actors,
Oh yeah.
Down, and it's just from a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who is it?
I'm trying. It says Paul Dano. Dano. I don't know how to say his last name.
Oh, is this
The guy that's in like a million movies, and he was in American Psycho and
Is there a picture of him?
Oh, is he like the
you know
main guy
Paul
in American
Dano?
Psycho?
No, I don't. That's why I asked for a picture.
Let me. I'm gonna say like you know him once you see a picture.
Oh.
He has like the really tiny face.
Oh, the creepy dude.
Is he? That is a very small face.
I know he has. Let's see. Let me pull up. He was in There Will Be Blood, Little Miss Sunshine, Prisoner, Swiss Army Man, The Power of Dog. He's in
So he's like an indie master.
Looper. If you ever saw Looper, which is a really good movie, that one fucked me up for kind of like a few days.
A little mindfuck. That was a mindfuck.
Yeah. Let's see. What else was he in? Being Flynn, Where the Wild Things Are, Cowboys and Aliens. I forgot about that movie.
That movie's actually really good. I love that movie.
Yeah, so he's in a bunch of stuff. I know he was the Riddler. That's cool.
Well, I think this one's supposed to be like really fucking dark.
Google says though he plays a relatively like grounded version of the Riddler, so I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any
Well,
news
I
stories.
can't see how the Riddler could really fuck you up. The guy just loves riddles.
I mean, he also said like in the little blurb about it, he plays a grounded version of it.
A grounded version of
Like-
the literal, like
Yeah,
the
like
Riddler.
grounded, just like not as crazy.
I didn't never think that Riddler really was that crazy.
Tripp saying the guy was going to kill himself over it.
Well, he literally like there was an article that said like the guy couldn't sleep at night afterwards and was doing all this. Like I was like,
I would be surprised the article just like made shit up so people would
yeah.
click on the article.
That's what. After talking to you guys about it, I'm starting to think there's a little bit of hogwash.
A little bit of hog, a little bit of tomfoolery amongst our ranks.
I do know that this new one's got Catwoman in it. Who's the one?
Zoe Kravitz, right? I
Yeah.
think
Oh
Zoe
my.
Kravitz.
Oh my God, she's so hot.
I'm excited to see what nonsense Robert Pattinson makes up like after the movie because his interviews are always spectacular because he just makes up shit and at some point he just told people like, yeah, I make up everything I say in interviews, and he hates being an actor so much and it's hilarious.
Well, then sign me up. I'll take his spot.
Like I feel like he wanted to be like a mechanic or something boring, and then they just decided he was too pretty, so he had to go in the show business.
Robert Pattinson, if you're listening, we'll switch places, man. You can run this podcast studio.
For real, yeah.
Except to get him on the phone because I bet that he would just show up one day and be like, hey, I'm here to record. He'd be that kind of person.
He gives me the Batman cowl. I was like, all right.
Oh man,
Practice a voice. Okay.
why is it like Fruit Loops?
Rachel, where's Rachel? Nailed it.
That's all you need to do. Just say real. I can't even say it. Never mind. See, I can't be Batman. That's it. I failed the test.
Did you guys ever watch the Lego movie?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to watch it.
I'm aware of it.
You have
It's so
to watch
good.
it. It's literally like a kids movie geared towards adults. It's made for adults.
No, that's I've heard that it's like surprisingly entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. And the person who plays Lego Batman is Will Arnett,
Oh, I
Right.
love Will Arnett.
and
He's
is
like one of my
so-
favorite voice
He
actors.
kills it.
He is so funny, dude. He does like the most worst Batman voice ever, but like it fits.
Because
Yep.
he just sounds like that as a person.
But he like, overdoes it on
He
purpose.
sounds like a
It's-
bad
Yep.
Batman. That's
And he just
that's
goes through the whole
hilarious.
thing going, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Where's Batman? Right here.
I,
Pops
I
out
can
of
already
nowhere.
picture his voice. Can you picture a voice?
Technically, yeah, I guess through frequencies.
I'm just thinking like in your mind.
Yeah, like I think about it right now, like when I do EQs, you can see it through frequencies.
Or is
You can,
that
see, you can see it visually,
like-
so you can picture it.
can you like picture what a voice sounds like in your mind though?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, we'll try this out.
Oh no.
We'll do Nicolas Cage as a maid.
What?
Like
Uh-huh.
I oh, this is dirty. Oh, okay. Like I could totally see it. I could picture it.
That's
You know, that's pretty terrifying. As I could see Nicolas Cage being a maid.
I'm just going to bring up why the fuck was that on the top of your mind? How often do you think about Nicolas Cage being a maid? That was your first.
No, I've had
Example.
9 concussions, man. The first thing that comes up is what comes up. It's just it's like
I
a
mean,
little
what
it's like a little
has-
slot machine. What comes up, you know.
It's just your brain's constantly spitting, and sometimes you just like poke it and makes it stop. Nicolas Cage is a maid,
Yes, 100%.
and that's it.
Yeah, I'm a slot machine in the head.
Nicholas Made?
Like
That
my
doesn't
ex girlfriend just be like, what are you thinking about? And like I always start like like the monkeys that they're clapping.
Yeah.
It's like that's pretty much it. It's just like looping on that and then like other shit. Like
And then Nicholas Made is a cage.
yeah, I was just trying to think of like a most ridiculous situation for like a really high grade actor. You know, like
That is a pretty ridiculous situation.
right?
Nicholas Cage.
Oh, the house is dirty.
Coming out of my
Okay.
cage and I would doing just fine.
I mean, you can totally picture that shit. I mean, I guess if you don't have imagination, it's impossible.
I guess I'm not imaginative, or I just don't know enough like of Nicolas Cage's voice. I haven't seen too many of his movies.
If you've seen one National Treasure, you got it down.
I used to love those movies, but I haven't seen them in so long.
Let's be honest,
neither.
those are awesome.
They were so
They were really
bad
cool.
and so cool.
Oh, they're
I
so
know they
good.
like announced a few years ago, like pre-COVID, that the third
Yeah.
one was finally going to happen, but I heard nothing of it since. I think it got COVIDed.
Well, yeah. Well, speaking, of trying to merge back into comics.
Oh, right, comics.
Does
Does Nicolas Cage play anyone in comics?
I think he's going to for Marvel this next.
Who's he going to play?
I forget.
Wait, didn't he voice one of the Spider-Men in the multiverse?
Yeah, he was Noir.
Yeah, that's it. Okay,
that's right, yeah.
there's our transition back to comics. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he was, and I think that they're doing another into the Spider-Verse movie. He's gonna play it again.
I hope so.
It was a great movie.
entertaining. And not Spider-Man, Jesus. Sunflower was like one of my top songs of the year that year.
Oh, that song was
The
so
song
good.
is so catchy. I know I've listened to it like that probably 1,000 times at least, but it's still so good.
Like I'm gonna be honest. Like Post Malone's songs sound great, but they sound like he smells bad
I don't get that. Like I get people like to say he looks like he smells bad, but like
because he does evidently.
I thought he doesn't actually. People just like say he like looks like a douchebag and smells weird, but he's actually like a really, really, really nice, humble guy.
No, he's a nice guy. Like I'm not gonna take that away. He's a nice, humble guy, but evidently he doesn't shower very much. He just smells like cigarettes and Bud Light.
That's fantastic. Good for him, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
I
go
mean,
off, kid.
dude, whatever, dude. Honestly, like they did this whole like Nirvana tribute cover over the pandemic, like an hour-long set of just Nirvana songs, and they donated all that to the World Health Organization.
He's a good person, legitimately talented. People,
Oh, 100%.
he's one of those celebrities that people just hate for no reason, and I don't get it. I think it's because people want to hate him.
No, and he's really great to his fans and stuff. Like, but fuck, back to comics, shit.
We're really good at this.
Just ignore the giant Nicolas Cage face like on the back of Tripp's wall.
Get one of those
Supposed
fat,
to-
remember those fat heads from like the late 2000s?
Oh my God, fat
Get
heads.
one of those with just Nicolas Cage in like a French maid uniform.
Or that when his face is like,
Oh yes.
you guys can't see it, but I made like the surprise Nick Cage face.
Yeah, the you don't say like the
Oh.
the meme from
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, I think I nailed it too much. I'm never gonna do it again. But back to comics.
Yeah. Let's see.
I have nothing to say about this because I didn't really read comics.
No, okay, I remember what I was gonna say.
Ah,
So like in between like when we kind of stopped watching shows, or, stopped watching comic book shows or whatever, Iron Man came out in 2008, and I got sucked right fucking back into it.
because it kind of revitalized comics as like something that's not reserved for like sweaty people in basements. It made comics cool.
It made them digestible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it made it digestible and easy to open market. And like the best part about I gotta say about the Marvel series is they really make the comic people happy as well as making a general audience happy.
I've seen most of the Marvel movies, and they're fantastically entertaining. I know
Yeah.
nothing about the lore history, but they're still they're just entertaining movies.
So as not being a comic book fan,
Yes.
or I'm not being a fan, but not knowing a lot about
Comic
it.
book, not a fan.
Yeah. Okay. So what has been your favorite or top 3 comic book movies?
I mean, are we just sticking to Marvel? Because I feel like there are a lot of movies that are comic book movies that aren't really.
Well, any to be honest. I mean, it can be whatever you want.
What was that one where Bruce Willis played? Was it Unbreakable? Wasn't that a comic?
I don't think it was.
I thought it might have been. I'm gonna have to look it up. Nathan, answer Tripp's question while I do research.
What was it again?
Top 3 comic book movies.
Let's see. I would have to say the original Avengers is pretty much up there.
Oh fuck yeah.
Doctor Strange was the Doctor Strange movie was probably right there in my favorites. Like
That one was really good.
It was. Like I think Doctor Strange's intro movie tops pretty much everybody else's.
Also, yes, besides Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man's was really good.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. I think with the end games. Okay, so with the end game stuff, I feel like they rushed those a little too quickly for me to like say those are kind of like in the top 3. Let's see. Captain America doesn't always strike me. I would have to say it's probably Iron Man. Iron Man 1 or 2. It's been so long. But yeah, I think
There's been so many that came out. Like, it's hard to.
there's so many. It's ridiculous. I actually missed the second Avengers movie. I never actually watched it.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, James Spader plays Ultron.
Was Ultron the second Avengers movie?
Yeah. He played Ultron, the robot.
No, because that was the last movie I saw in theaters. That was the most recent movie I've seen in theaters. I didn't know that was. I thought that was the third.
No, the third one was in Infinity War. And
Was
then
that the third Avengers?
Yeah, then the fourth one was Endgame.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Age of Ultron was the last movie I ever saw. I've seen in theaters.
I just don't see the point of going to theaters when like it's gonna come out. I have Disney Plus and I just wait.
I like the aesthetic of theaters and the smell and just like the whole process of it.
I'll tell you what ruined it for me is one of my friends said he got lice from like the headrest of a movie theater once.
That probably can't happen.
Whatever, if it did or not, I freak out every time I go.
Are
I'm
movie
like doing this
theaters-
all the time.
Don't they have leather or like vinyl
They
seats?
used to be cloth. The old ones used to be cloth up until like they started doing recliners back in like when did they start doing recliners? Probably like 2012 or something like that.
Well, like the luxury, like kind of movie theater started coming out like 2010 and shit. Like I remember like Fox Theater coming to my town. It was like a huge deal. It was like a super nice
I know
theater.
we had a Regal Cinemas back home.
That joint's loose. Watch out.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Sorry,
all
I'm
good.
fiddling. Anyway,
Technical difficulties. We had a Regal Cinemas, and I think for as long as I remember going there, like they had the comfortable. They weren't full on like lazy boy recliners, but they like kind of kicked back like an airplane seats.
That was the best you had was Regal.
I'm from a very small town.
I know. Just I feel bad for you.
We had an IMAX like 2 hours away.
We had this like Cobb theater that was they like would literally bring you alcoholic drinks.
Did they bring you a salad there? Was the house salad a Cobb salad?
It was just popcorn.
it reminds me of we had Movie Tavern and Studio Movie Grill in my town, and they both directly competed like with the exact same setup, except Movie Tavern was always better.
Why was it better?
Let's see, better like the more room for the seats. You have more table room. Like Studio Movie Grill just give you like a tiny little like half desk for your stuff, and then Movie Tavern you were sitting up like next to like basically a bar.
This doesn't sound like much of a competition.
No, it wasn't in the slightest.
Won by a landslide.
Yeah, even the popcorn at Movie Tavern was better.
Well,
And they gave you a tankard that if you brought back, you could you'd basically, you bought a tankard, and then if you brought it back, you get like basically like a liter worth of beer for cheap.
Are there any of those out here?
I haven't seen a Movie Tavern out here.
Movie Tavern is what it's called.
Yeah. Austin, it's kind of I guess what is Alamo Draft House is kind of
I've heard of that.
yep.
I haven't been.
Yep.
Alamo Draft House is the one based in Austin, or I think it's either Austin or San Antonio.
See, you don't remember which one?
I don't remember which one.
You don't remember the Alamo?
You mother.
Wow. I saw that coming too. I was like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I know.
Damn.
And Nathan has just lost his Texas driver's license. 7 Texan Rangers have swarmed the place and have taken his driver's license away.
Oh, look, my phone just vibrated. Notifications will be Associated Press. Texas goes in full revolt.
Chuck Norris, Walker
Yep.
Texas Ranger has.
Oh look! I just got a text from George Bush saying he's disappointed.
It was just
He's painted you a painting about how disappointed he is.
it's just him in a clown in the clown paint with George Bush sad.
Aw.
Single sad George Bushian tear.
What? Okay, back to comics. Shit. If George Bush wrote a comic.
Isn't there a Marvel character who's like really texted in Southern? I don't.
Jonah Hex.
Is that who it is? Is that who George Bush would be as a comic book? Character?
If that guy had cocaine in his gun instead of bullets, maybe.
Did George Bush was he famously? I know, like, if you're a president of the United States, you kind of have to be on a steady stream of it.
Have you seen the Josh Brolin movie about George W? It's called. I think it's called George W.
No.
Oh no, it's called W.
W. Yeah.
W?
It's
Is
literally.
it W or just W?
It's just W with a dot.
Okay, it's not like W, like how he would. Oh, okay, that's kind of disappointing.
No, but it's actually a really good memoir. Like, the dude was a party boy.
Mm-hmm.
And like the only reason he got any kind of fame is because his daddy bought him a semi-pro baseball team that did really well. And
I
then
mean, by that point, wasn't it his dad already president of the United States of America?
I think that was towards when he was running when that started
okay.
happening, and then like he started pressuring
Because
his
what,
son
George
to do
Bush
it.
owned the Rangers?
Yes, that's what it was. It was a professional football team or
Yeah.
a baseball team.
Let's see. No, he wouldn't have run. I don't remember him. Unless he sold the Cowboys to Jerry Jones or something.
So Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
That's
so
also
it's not
football.
the Cowboys.
It's
And-
also football.
Yeah. So no, it probably would have been the Texas Rangers.
I just thought I remember
Yeah.
him like owning the Rangers and like throwing a bunch of first pitches.
Yeah.
He has some affiliation to that.
Yeah, he does. Like the Bushes basically go to like half of the Rangers games now.
God,
yeah.
we are not talking about comic books.
It's very. I don't know, man. Okay.
Now I want to look up to see which baseball team George Bush owned. Carry on without me.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna actually say probably my my other favorite movie was The Dark Knight, just because Heath Ledger just did such a damn good job at the Joker in that movie.
I watched all three of those this weekend, like from top, and like literally watching the third one versus already seeing The Dark Knight, like it ruins it.
Oh, I know.
Heath Ledger does that good of a job that I can't believe it ruins the third one
Yeah.
completely.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It's absolutely ridiculous.
He
It's like.
nailed the Joker completely,
Mm-hmm.
and like like half of his shit from that movie were improvised. Like he wasn't supposed to clap
I've
during
seen that
scene.
in like all
Yeah.
of the internet posts, like kind of praising him like a literal god. I don't know how much of that stuff is actually improv or just like director was like, hey, just kind of like do this thing that's similar to it.
Well, like for example, for the scene like when Jim
he-
Gordon catches the Joker or whatever, and like he's in the cell and he's clapping, he was like improvising that. Like they didn't ask him to do that at all. But like evidently, but like 2 or 3 months before he started the role,
Doesn't he locked himself in the hotel room?
a
to
really shitty
isolate?
hotel room,
Yeah.
started taking like antidepressants and all this kind of stuff, and started writing a journal about being the Joker. And the scene, the actual scene where the Joker meets Alfred,
Yeah.
or whatnot. The actual scene where he like goes like this, he went like that because he was so scared of seeing him. Like that's the first time they ever saw him in the makeup. Like he kept that really hidden. Like that's the first take they had too.
See, stuff
Damn.
like I believe obviously the hotel and the clapping is improvised, but I feel like an actor like Michael Caine wouldn't be taken aback by stage makeup. Yeah, he's been in the industry for decades. One of the most
He's also a
celebrated
vet.
actors. Right.
He's
I
also
can't
a vet.
imagine the Joker would make Michael Caine speechless. Maybe he did, but I think that's kind of like, again, like back to the hyped up to increase sales kind of thing.
The only reason I truly believe that is because there was that much magic on this movie.
It's a fantastic movie. Another one of those like approachable, even for me, a not comic book, and not one of them. They're comic book fans.
books. Close
Not a
enough.
comic book fan.
Well, it was just that good of a movie. Like I don't think it. And as being a comic book fan, that like someone like nailing the Joker's character to a T like that, it's almost relieving.
Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air because like even in the comics, like Mark Hamill nailed the voice, but like having being a cartoon, like to me it wasn't believable because the Joker's a murderer.
Very
He's a
much so.
psychopath.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And it's just like, and it's funny because like you go to the video games and like the Arkham Asylum actually nails the Joker pretty well too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Like some of the stuff they do in there where like, for example, like there's one of his minions is doing something like and like Joker just like triggers a bomb and blows him up and then just laughs about it.
Like for me, like I do get like they nailed a little bit of the creepy factor, but like the Joker's not creepy, he's depraved.
Yeah.
The complete psychopath.
You can still be both. You can still be creepy.
Well, yeah, like that's I think that's the thing that like Heath Ledger nailed though, was like literally the instability of him. Like,
Yeah.
like the video games and like even the Mark Hamill one, there is a sense of like he's still a human, and in the movies like The Dark Knight, like he's not.
He just lost all sense of humanity.
Yeah, I mean like that sign that little like whatever Alfred said, like some people just want to watch the world burn. Like that nailed it. You know what I mean? Like he like burning the money in front
The
of
whole
all the
philosophy of it.
yeah, burning the money in front of all the gangsters and stuff like that. Like he just wants chaos.
Just wanted to watch the world burn.
Yep.
Quite literally. But I think we're getting towards the end of this. I want to talk about this more later, to be honest.
Yeah,
And,
we
but
can
actually, maybe have more structure to
More
Maybe even
comics.
like have a comics V2 like
Oh yeah, we talk. If we had
The
tattoo,
sequel.
if we had tattoo V2, we're having comic V2, and I think next time I want to talk about authors.
I don't.
No,
think
not
I know
comic
a
authors,
single-
just book authors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about book authors next time. I think they're kind of dope. Like we'll talk about our favorite authors and books, and
that'd be
we
cool.
already did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, make sure you follow us on. Fuck
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
yeah.
Dig. Do we have a Dig account?
Does anybody have a Dig account?
It has to be at least 3.
What the hell is Dig?
It was like Reddit before Reddit was a thing, but not really like Reddit. You could like share sites too.
Basically, Reddit took off so hard that it killed Dig.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
I've heard. I was never on Dig. I just remember seeing like websites that were like Dig it around for like the button
my
next
gosh,
to it.
yeah.
Was.
So make sure you save our AAM account. Go to our MySpace. Just kidding. We don't have an AAM, do
We should
we?
make a MySpace. Is MySpace still around?
Yeah,
What
actually it
Club
is.
Penguin. Let's make a Club Penguin account.
Oh my God!
We could do a Club Penguin. That's still around.
All right, let's all meet up at Club Penguin.
Jesus.
Meet in the coffee shop. That was always my go-to place, the coffee shop. Smooth jazz.
Oh Jesus! I used to, like when I was like 11. There was like a Hubba Hotel.
I remember Hubba Hotel.
Yeah.
That sounds very. What about Toontown? I'm still pissed they took Toontown.
Oh, I remember that
Oh,
shit. I was
man.
so
I
I was
love
so
that
stoked on
so
that.
much.
Well, all right, guys. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this comic v not comic book podcast.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Peace.
Time for us to book it out of here.